Hey everyone, it's me, it's your favorite disabled Latino pretty boy, and this video is gonna be one of my more controversial ones. I warned you guys about it, and I just wanna preface this by saying that this is not anti able bodied people. This is simply pro disabled people. And this is simply pro us having our own organizations run by us for us, which we don't. We have organizations, but they're not run by us for us. They're run by medical professionals or our parents or people that are not directly us who yeah, they can have some role advocating for us, but they shouldn't have a complete role. And it's, sort of astounding that the disability movement has existed um for as long as it has, round about 50 years, which I know historically is not that much, but still for um uh an organized movement, which I'll get to that later cuz it's not really organized anymore. We've been slacking. Um but yeah, it's just a travesty that that's not the case. And that needs to change. And what I'm advocating for is that we stop with the hippy dippy BS about wanting able bodied people to accept us, and we start building an actual community, going out and helping those who need it actually, who are disabled, by our, well, not by ourselves, but you know what I mean, without our parents, without our medical professionals being there to scrutinize us. That's what I'm talking about. Actual grassroots community action. Um, and if able-bodied people want to help us, well, they can go ahead, but they need to understand that it's not about them, it's about us. um we need able-bodied people, obviously, in this potential organization. And this is about as radical as you're gonna get, because no other people are advocating this. They're still stuck on trying to get able bodied people to accept us. When I think, yeah, we should have our allies and stuff for sure, but we should stop waiting around for able bodied people to start actually acknowledging us. Honestly, I'm sorry, I have to say it. It you know and also, let me just say that I'm not condoning, I'm not condoning um being mean to able-bodied people, being resentful. No, because then we would scoop down to their level, and we don't want to do that. We're better than that. We know we're better than that. So, um yeah, and as far as relationships go, I know this is going to be unpopular, but I personally believe that if we want to start a community like this, if we want to start organizations like this, we're going to need to stop chasing after wanting to be in romantic relationships and start families with able-bodied people. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Um and it's just the truth, because I don't think, especially with the care necessities needed um as disabled people, that we're ever gonna be able to get to a point where we're gonna have kids with able-bodied people and they're gonna understand our issues and stuff like that. I'm sorry. I just I don't believe it. I know examples exist. That's not the point. The point is to have relationships where we can guarantee where we won't be judged for that aspect of ourselves or have to risk being left because someone can't handle it. And I'm not saying that that isn't their right, but we have to be honest and say that, any community depends on its families, and we need to start not only saying that we support disabled people, but also acting it out. And I'm gonna be honest, this is gonna be a criticism of the disabled community, but I think, and maybe this is just me projecting, you can ignore this if you want, but I think a lot of us suffer from internalized ableism about ourselves, and that's why we're always chasing these able-bodied people who want nothing to do with us, who will never want to start families with us. And I think everyone can say that it is the majority, right? Again, there are exceptions. They're right here on YouTube. I've talked about them before, but that's not the majority, and we need to start, you know, again, going grassroots, getting disabled people together romantically and able-bodied people to help us um do stuff like distribute medical supplies, distribute food and everything. And lastly, just as a closing, you're probably thinking, wow, this sounds similar to the Black Panther Party platform just for disabled people, and that's exactly what it is. And a lot of people don't know, but Brad Lomax coordinated between the disability movement and the Black Panthers in order to feed disabled people who occupied uh, several bureaus so that they could get the 504 regulations passed, which, if you've ever had an IEP like I have, you have them because of those regulations and stuff like that. Or I think they still even call them 504 plans in school. So yeah, guys, I think this is important. I think this is not an opinion that gets talked about despite people saying, oh, disabled people aren't a monolith. Well, our attitude towards disability and what the disability movement needs to be does actually seem to be a monolith. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. Because if it wasn't, you would be hearing these types of organizational um theoretical organizational structures be advocated for, and the truth is that they haven't. So again, um a lot of thanks, shout outs to, Brad Lomax, Kathleen Neal Cleaver, Afeni Shakur, and all of the other men and women of the original incarnation of the Black Panther Party, because this is basically where that came from. And I know it's radical, but I hope you guys it'll get you guys thinking at least. Alright, thanks. Bye.